right. Hello, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Keisha, and I talk about crafts, home decor, aerial hoop, cozy seasonal content, books, and all of the things here on my channel. So thank you so much for being here and for watching. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, and I want to talk to you guys about how to decorate when you're broke, you're on a budget, and you just don't have the resources or the means to go out and buy new things for your home. So let's dive into it today, you guys. I'm so excited. So, the first thing that comes to mind is foraging outside. I started doing this a few years ago in my neighborhood when I was living in Vancouver, going to school, and I did not have a ton of money, but I wanted to decorate my home and make it feel festive. I would forage pine cones that had fallen from trees, pick flowers and press them in my journals or my books to use for crafts. I'll link some pictures here for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about specifically. There is even little acorns that I ended up finding and painting to put in one of my fall wreaths. So, really taking advantage of outside. Maybe you pick a bunch of flowers and you want to hang them to dry in your space. I even made a hummingbird. I could call it like a mobile or a mobile, like for a baby, but it was just like a fallen branch that I decided to paint gold and then hang little plastic hummingbirds from with some beads and kind of make it like a little art installation from a branch that just had fallen outside that I found and thought would look really cool with hummingbirds hanging from it, because what doesn't look cool with hummingbirds hanging from it? So, foraging outside, tip number one. Tip number two, I've got my trusty dusty notes here, you guys. So, putting books on display. As I'm sure you've seen, if you're an avid reader, and you read a lot, then maybe you have bookshelves and you store your books there, but you can also put them on your coffee table or on shelves on the wall or side tables, bedside tables, really any surface that you want. Can house books with decor that you already have, or just books all by themselves to make it feel like a cozy home library and really put your beautiful books out on display. Super easy, doesn't cost anything aside from, of course, the book, which you're probably going to buy and read anyways. So that's tip number two. Tip number three is using your wardrobe, especially if you're living in an apartment or a smaller space. Using your wardrobe and folding up different knit sweaters, maybe patterned pieces, colorful pieces, maybe it's even pants, but folding them up and putting them in like a shelf or a bookcase to put on display. Super easy way to conserve space, super easy way to decorate with things that, again, you're already going to have and wear because you need to wear clothes. We're just kind of giving them a dual purpose and putting them on display as more of a decorative feature. I also feel like it gives that really kind of cozy 90s vibe, which is obviously super in right now. It's very nostalgic and super easy to do. You can always just find like a thrifted shelf if you don't have one on Marketplace, even, for example. So, putting your clothes on display is a great way to add just a little something to your space. Lay down. Tino is just losing his shit because there's somebody walking their dog outside. Of course, classic Tino. And then Boo starts barking, and it's a whole thing. I know my yelling doesn't help anything, but now they're barking, I'm yelling. It's a thing. So that was tip number three, folding your clothing items and your sweaters and putting them out on display. Tip number four is moving your decorative items, your throw pillows, the things that you already have, freshening it up and moving them to different rooms around your house. Maybe you do have seasonal decor that you like to bring in for kind of a fresh new feel each season. Maybe you want to switch out your bed sheets to different bed sheets, or there's a shelf in one room that could actually make more sense in another. Moving around different plants, books, really anything that you have to a different space that's maybe a bit more functional, or maybe just adds a fresh new energy to that space. I do that a lot with my altars, a lot with my bookshelves as I read books and start kind of putting them away. as those items kind of come in, kind of have to rejig everything. So taking what you already have and moving it to a new space in your home can really help just feel like there's a fresh new energy. And then what else do we have here? I'm really not good at memorizing things, you guys, so bear with me as I refer to my trusty dusty list. I would not get anything done in my life if it was not for a list. Tip number 5. Reach out to your friends and see if there's anything that they're donating and want to get rid of. Do you have anything that you were thinking of donating and wanting to get rid of? Maybe you want to swap with them rather than, dropping it off at Value Village or somewhere else. And you can swap with your friends, because one friend's trash is indeed another friend's treasure, or it can be. You never know. So I always just like to kind of reach out to my friends. Hey, what are you getting rid of? This is what I'm getting rid of. Can we swap? Super easy way, doesn't cost any money. And it's a great way to kind of bring new items into your home, or well-loved items into your home, without having to spend the money. So we've also got tip number 6. Can you make something? Can you make something with the materials that you have in your craft closet, or if you have like a craft bin of some kind? Oftentimes, I know for myself, when I do different DIY projects, I have to buy a lot of something and I don't use all of it. So sometimes I just like to rummage around through my different craft supplies and see, hey, like, what can I make with these various items that I could decorate my house with? So I have bags and bags and bags of pine cones, because all of my friends know how much I love painting pine cones and decorating with them to make garland. Or at Christmas, I made this like pine cone tree. What else have I done? I'll put, pine cones into like a bowl and put them out on display. I just love pine cones. But I don't know, maybe you have feathers or pom-poms or just different, canvases or paints that you want to use to make a new piece of decor that you can put up with stuff that you already have. So really focusing on, what do I already have that I could use to decorate my home and make it feel fresh? And then tip number 7 is Facebook Marketplace. You guys know I love Facebook Marketplace. And of course, there's certain items that one wants to look for on there, and you're looking for something very specific. Of course, you might actually have to pay for it. And if you didn't know, there's a Facebook Marketplace section where people sometimes list things for free. I don't think I've ever used it personally to pick something up for free, just because I am quite particular with the things that I'm looking for, but I've seen some pretty good finds on there before. You just have to be really on top of it. Of course, because it's free. So as soon as people see that, they want to go pick it up, and it can get snatched up really quickly. So if you're scrolling your Facebook Marketplace, or you're looking for something for your home, maybe you need a chair, maybe you need a coffee table or a bedside table or curtains or whatever it might be, just make sure that you're taking a peek at your Facebook Marketplace on the free section, because you never know what people are just giving away in your local community. So those are all of my little tips and tricks to decorating. If you're on a budget, if you're broke and you just don't have the means to go out and spend a bunch of money on different decor items. And I've been reflecting, and I've mentioned this in previous YouTube videos of mine, that I really don't want my channel to be super consumer heavy. I mean, we live in a world where we're constantly consuming, and to an extent we have to in certain ways, but I think when it comes to fun decorative projects or home decor, even books and reading, there are more sustainable ways to obtain certain items, and we can be a little bit more thoughtful and mindful about how we acquire certain things. And that's kind of the direction that I'm moving in right now, you guys, and really just taking you along on that journey with me. So I hope you're enjoying your weekend. I hope you enjoyed this video and were maybe able to take away some tips and tricks to bring into your own home this fall season. And thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I so appreciate it. I love that you're here. I wouldn't be here if you weren't here. So thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. And I can't wait to see you guys again in my next video. See you guys soon.